What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. And right now, I would like to give my updated thoughts on Reacher Season 3. I've already done one video that gave you my thoughts after, I think, 3 episodes. Now here, what are we, 7 episodes in now? And want to give some updated thoughts here. I still haven't changed my viewpoint that this is nowhere near as good as Season 1. I don't know where this falls in comparison to Season 2 yet. A lot of that is going to have to do with the ending and how they wrap things up. But I don't see any way that this season surpasses Season 1 for me now. Because it just hasn't been, the intensity hasn't been there, and just the character development for Reacher himself has not been there. For me, anyways. I like the bad guy McCabe. I like the idea that this is someone who his history is tied to Reachers. I'm not sure if they've explored that enough. The idea of McCabe having having amnesia, I think was a little convenient. But you know, I guess people get amnesia, right? I guess that's a real thing. For me, I felt like the storytelling would have gotten a lot more intense if at that point McCabe knew that Reacher was there, and then Reacher had to retreat, and then we knew that there was going to be some sort of big conflict happen. And that just didn't happen the way that I really wanted it to happen. But again, it's just a fan talking about what he would like to see. I think that I have enjoyed this so far. I think it's a good season. If I were to go positive or negative, it would be positive. But I think, I just talked about it in my 1923 review. I think that these shows are taking very long to get to where we want them to get. And I think Reacher is kind of one of those. It's taking a while to get to where I would like it to get. It's kind of drawing it out some. I like the dynamic between Reacher and Beck. I think that Beck is one of the most compelling characters of this season because, yeah, he's a bad guy, but I don't think he's evil. He's bad, and he does bad things, and he belongs in jail, and he probably belongs in jail for the rest of his life. But I don't think he's evil. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody listening to that, but I think there's a distinction between bad guy does bad things and evil. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is evil, but I don't get the vibe that he is. But either way, I think he's a very complicated character, and I think that he's one of the characters that I enjoy the most when he's on screen. Speaking of that, I really enjoy Duffy. I think that she is right up there with Roscoe as far as competent women in Reacher's life. Nowhere near as high as Negley, but right up there with Roscoe as far as competent women in Reacher's life, as well as potential love interest. My as a fan, I would like to see Reacher end up with Roscoe one day, but Duffy is a good character, and I enjoy the character when she's on screen. Another character that I really like is Richard, Beck's son. I like the relationship that he has with Reacher, the kind of mentorship, and I like the fact that Beck feels threatened by that relationship, telling him, he already has a dad. I think that adds layers to this season that really might propel this season above Season 2 when it's all said and done. One of my favorite characters, I think it's one of everybody's favorite characters, is Negley. I think she's a great character. I want to learn more about her. Here we are 3 seasons in, and I still don't feel like we really know this character. We know who she is. We know how competent she is, but we don't know a whole lot about who she is beyond some of her service record. I hear they're doing a spinoff with her. Yeah, I'm all about it. Bring it on. But yeah, this season has been good. And a lot of this season on whether I would rank it above Season 2 or below Season 2 is really going to come down to how they finish it, how they resolve it. And You know, how does Reacher ultimately take out McCabe? How does he reconcile his relationship with Duffy? And what happens to Beck and his son? I think that all that is going to play a big role into whether I would place this above season 2 or below it. But overall, so far I've really liked it. What is there, 2 episodes left? Something like that. Overall, I've really liked it. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they conclude it. It just hasn't quite reached season 1 standards for me yet. So that's my take on Reacher season 3 so far. I will do another Reacher video when season 3 concludes and give you my overall thoughts at that point. But that's how I feel about it right now. How do you feel? Do you agree with me, disagree with me? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there commenting, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. And until next time, we'll see y'all later.